packed all your things? Make sure you brought the onigiri and rice cakes your mother prepared.
Don't worry, I have them all. They're going to last me days. Take care of yourselves while I'm out. And make sure you remind Mom to take her medicine on time. If running the store gets a bit too much, take some time off and wait for me to return.
Oh, Yoimiya, your mother and I got so worried when we heard that you were going so far abroad. We've never left the country. So we don't know how Outlanders might view us Inazumans, or if they'd even be willing to speak to us.
Oh, relax. Outlanders are friendly and warm. Look at Toma from the Yashiro Commission. He's originally from Mondstadt, but everyone thinks he's a top-tier guy.
A mop tier? What mop? Oh! Do you mean the broken one at home? I just fixed it today, actually.
No! I said top, not mop. You know, Toma even sent us some wine from his homeland not too long ago.
We haven't heard this kind of friendly banter in a while, huh?
Oh, hey you two! It's been a long time, hasn't it? I'm excited because I'm going on a trip soon. Many things have changed. Lots of Outlanders have come to Inazuma, and lots of Inazumans have gone out as well. You two have been adventuring all over Teyvat, so you might not be able to understand, but for us, this is a long-awaited chance to go out and fulfill our dreams.
That's right, the Sakoku decree is gone.
Ah, I remember you two. You're Yoimiya's friends, yes? Word of your incredible accomplishments has spread throughout Inazuma. My daughter's a big fan of yours. She said she'd love to be like you two.
Come on, Dad. Who's never dreamed of becoming a hero? Oh, thanks. But I'm just your average artisan. The quiet life suits me better. But if an opportunity presents itself, why not try to show your stuff, right?
All right. Did you two come over today to order some fireworks?
Oh, sorry. I got carried away. Well, I'm gone. Dad's in charge of making fireworks. You've seen how skilled he is, so there's nothing to worry about.
Oh no, we aren't here to do business or anything. We just happen to be passing by.
Oh, so we're all here with time to spare? What a treat! In that case, let's chat some more. I'm not in a rush anyway.
Sure. So, where are you planning to go?
No clue.
Huh?
I say that, but I do have a travel goal. To see Teyvat's grandest meteor shower. But I don't know when or where it'll happen. So, I figured I can search while I travel.
That's it? No details? Nothing?
Not right now. Since this meteor shower was originally something like a family legend. A long time ago, the Naganaharas were inspired to create new fireworks after watching such a meteor shower. Dad says that inspiration is a combination of what you see and what you know. Different people can see the same thing, but have different thoughts. Inazuma today is completely different from how it was in the past. If I can see this meteor shower, I'm sure I'll be able to come up with a new kind of firework. I know, right? Of course, my main reason is that I want to go and look outside Inazuma.
No need to be shy about it. You gotta play hard when you get the chance.
You know, you're right, Paimon. Is it just me, or have you gotten wiser since we first met?
Paimon loves being friends with you since you say such nice things.
Sumeru. I've heard of it. It has a ton of trees, a super impressive school, and a massive desert.
Yep, and everyone there is really smart, so Paimon's sure you'll get some answers from them about the meteor shower.
Really? But won't research people make fun of me or something if I ask them about a legend?
We won't know if something's real or not unless we ask. Don't worry, we got solid connections in there. Well, he does anyway.
Wouldn't I be taking up your time, though? I doubt this was in your schedule.
Exactly! Relax, Yoimiya. You've helped us plenty of times before.
All right, then I accept your offer. Let's have some fun at Sumeru. Dad, you can have more peace of mind now that I'm traveling with them, right?
Oh, yes. Your mother and I will be much more at ease.
Remember, you two also need to take care of yourselves. I'll be back soon. Okay, let's head to Rito and catch a boat there. Wow, so this is Sumeru? That tree's huge! Is the port built on top of it? And this place is amazing! It's way bigger than Rito's port. There are also a lot more stores here.
Oh, there's more cool stuff for you to see. Don't you worry.
This place is awesome! I had heard people describe it, but nothing beats seeing a place for yourself. If I hadn't seen the port with my own eyes, I could never have imagined such a place. So, the school you were talking about, the academia, is it here?
Nope, we have to head north from here and follow the river to reach Sumeru City.
Sumeru City, huh? I guess it's even more impressive than here? Even bigger? Oh, I wonder if it's as grand as Sangonomiya Shrine. Whatever the case, why don't we go to Sumeru City? Oh, I'm so excited that I don't even know what I should be doing anymore.
The important thing about going on a trip is to enjoy yourself. You don't have to think so hard.
I'm just worried that if we don't get down to business soon, we'll take up too much of your time. But if you insist, then let's look around.
Welcome to Akara Crafts. Feel free to have a look around.
Wow, what are these?
This is our current bestseller, the Aranara carving. Their designs are based on the fairy tales that circulate amongst children, so they're very popular with them. Miss, are you from Inazuma? Oh, this would be a great gift for you to bring back home.
Oh, I know about Aranara. You two told me about them on the ship. I didn't think they'd be so cute. No wonder the kids like them. Oh, they're all so pretty. Let me take a better look.
Paimon knew Yoimiya would like this kind of thing. But even she might have a hard time seeing a real Aranara. Yeah, sorry, Yoimiya, but we need to keep our promise to the Aranara. That said, Paimon doesn't think Yoimiya would mind too much. Her world's already chock full of imaginary creatures.
I think I'll get this one. Ooh, that one. And the other two that you showed me earlier.
You're buying that many?
Yep, I'm going to give them out to Saika and the others. They're going to love them. Oh, and these carvings can also be used as prizes in matches against the Arataki gang. They'd also look great lined up by the window. Think about it. You wake up, and the first thing you see are these adorable critters. Wouldn't they brighten up your entire day? Okay, thanks. In that case, you take your pick too.
For some reason, Paimon thinks it kinda looks like you, Yoimiya.
Now that you mention it, it kinda does.
Hello, Nara Paimon. My name is Aramiya.
Is that how they talk? Hope I remember correctly.
That was really good! Wow, great memory! We only talked about R&R that one time on the boat.
That's because they're so interesting. I'm pretty good at remembering those kinds of things.
Of course. Thank you for your patronage. You all are an entertaining bunch. I hope you enjoy your time here in Sumeru.
That's about it for Port Ormos. Next up is Sumeru City.
All right, let's get to it. Wow, this market is even busier than the one in Port Ormos.
This is Treasure Street. Up from here is the Academia. Oh, and in that tree trunk is the Grand Bazaar. They're both pretty special places.
I just saw a group of people come down, and they were all wearing the same outfit. Is that the Academia's uniform?
That's right. They also wear hats with different designs, depending on which darshan they're in. For example, we'll be looking for someone from Watawahist. They know a lot about stars and stuff.
Does this mean that you need uniforms like those to get in and out of the Academia?
Paimon doesn't think so.
Won't we stick out if we go in like this?
So even you get shy, huh?
No, that's not what I meant. Let's pretend you're an Academia student, hard at work. Then in comes a bunch of Outlanders in strange clothes who gawk and run around everywhere.
Oh, Paimon kinda gets what you mean.
I don't think we have to be too self-conscious, but it's still something to keep in mind. Why don't we look around here first? I've been wanting to see the Zuber Theater anyway. As for the Academia, let's go once I get myself a set of Sumeru-style clothes.
Alright, but Paimon thinks you're overthinking it. Nilu might have some good recommendations.
Sounds good. If we can watch a performance of hers while we're at it, that'd be even better. All right, I'll be looking around here. I'm leaving the meteor shower inquiry to you two. Thanks a lot.
No problem. We'll be right back.
I won't go too far. And don't worry about me getting bored. I'm an expert at finding ways to pass time.
From Watawahist, but now that Paimon thinks about it, no one really fits the bill. Paimon thinks AETHER might know something, but Paimon doesn't want to talk to him. Oh, why don't we just ask around? Maybe we'll run into someone from Watawahist.
Looks like you two are in the pickle. Why not consult someone who always tells you everything she knows?
Nihira! Oh, why are you here?
I'm here to meet with some researchers, but when I saw you two looking so troubled, I decided to follow. Looks like I showed up just in time.
Okay, we might as well tell you. We have a friend who's come to Sumeru.
I see.
Your face says that it's gonna be a long time before the next meteor shower.
My answer is going to be even more of a disappointment. You may have heard that the stars are related to people's fates.
Yeah, lots of times.
If the stars dictate destiny, then do you think that destiny is something that is unchanging and always follows predicted outcomes?
You have a point.
According to current Retalahist research, a meteor shower is a celestial phenomenon that occurs due to the interference between many intricate fates. Their appearance is highly random. Some have tried coming up with ways to predict their occurrence, but the results are less than reliable. This is a far cry from folktales that claim meteor showers come at certain times and bless all who witness them.
So, you mean we won't be able to see one?
I'm sorry to disappoint you two.
If we tell this to Yoimiya, she'll be so disappointed. What now? There has to be something we can do.
Are you two okay? It seems the news hit harder than I expected.
Paimon just thinks this isn't fair to Yoimiya.
I get it. From how you described her, I can see that she is a kind and caring soul. So, why don't we take a page out of her book and protect her dreams with a well-intentioned lie?
Oh? How do we do that?
It'll be a story about a meteor shower. You'll accompany her on a brief journey, do a bit of work here and there, and then receive the meteor shower as a reward. Oh, well, I can't summon a real meteor shower, but if it's in a dream, I can help out.
Oh, that would be great, Nahida!
Compared to what you've done for me, this is nothing. Use the meteor shower as a pretext to take Yoimiya all around Sumeru. Then, when you're ready, blow this. I'll tell the Aranara in advance. Once they hear the whole story, I'm sure they'll be willing to help.
Huh. Then the dream will probably be like the one we had in the Avidia Forest, when we first met Hypatia. That was a real shocker. It was hard to tell that we were even in a dream.
Once the meteor shower ends and you all awaken from the dream, she'll probably realize what had happened. If you tell her the truth at that point, she should be a lot less disappointed.
Paimon thinks this is the best way to simulate the meteor shower. Thanks, Nahida.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. Still, you two should get this story straight before you join up with your friend. If not, she's gonna see right through everything.
True. Let's discuss it on the way. So what we need to do is to make Yoimiya believe that the meteor shower is really happening, and be super convincing at how we sell it. If Paimon wanted to go see a meteor shower, the things Paimon would focus on the most would be... Yes, exactly! We'll say we're trying to figure these two things out, but we'll actually be bringing Yoimiya around to see the sights and enjoy local food. Oh, well, easier said than done. We can't be too strict with our pretext, but we can't be sloppy with it either, or she'll see through it. It'd be best if we could take a unique approach to making it fantastical, just like a real fairy tale. This is gonna be hard. Oh, that's right. Don't people also talk about wishing on a shooting star? If we used wishes as the center of our story... Whoa, that sounds great! Alright then, we need a specific wishing spot or else the sky would be full of meteor showers. And then, while we're supposedly finding or making this device, we'll go around and have fun and eat good food! This is shaping up to be the perfect plot! After all, the device can be anything, and the location can be wherever. As long as we get Yoimiya to enter the dream at night, things will be fine. This isn't about being smart, it's about being a good duo. The idea was yours anyway. Paimon just knows what you want to say. Alright, let's go. Yoimiya's probably sick of waiting for us.
Thanks so much. If it weren't for your help, I would have gotten lost already.
It's no problem. I'll be heading home then.
Just a minute, wait. This is for you. This is an R&R carving I bought in Port Ormos. I heard it's very popular with kids, so here, have one.
It's alright. I didn't do much, really.
It's fine, take it. Come on, just look at its big, happy smile. You can display it at home or hang it on your wheelchair. It'll cheer you up. That might sound silly to you. Like, why do you have to be happy just because it is? But that's the magic of a smile. If you don't believe me, try it. Look at it a few times every day, and you'll understand.
Actually, I feel like I already do. You love talking, and you love smiling too. I just don't understand why you're so positive. I've never met anyone like you before. Sorry, I'm not very good with words. But since you say so, I'll accept your gift.
Want me to take you home?
It's okay. I can head back myself.
Oh, great timing, you two.
Who was that?
Oh, her? Her name is Aveen. I saw that she was looking quite forlorn, so I wanted to make sure she wasn't feeling left out or alone. She was pretty shy at first, but I explained that I just arrived in Sumeru and had gotten lost, so I needed someone to help guide me. She agreed and we made our way back here. There were so many paths here, and they're all twisty, turny, and up and down. It's hard navigating through them all. No, she didn't want to talk about that, and I didn't ask. I get the feeling that'll bring up some unhappy memories. But if I had to guess, it's probably because she hasn't been able to explore the city for quite some time. All she said was that she's sick and doesn't know when she'll get better. Whenever we passed by busy crowds, she kept turning her head and taking in all the things around her. At first, I thought she was afraid that someone might bump into us. But when I caught a glimpse in her eyes, I only saw yearning and a deep sense of loss.
It's hard not to be down when something like that happens to you.
At first, she didn't really want to say anything to me at all. She just gave me yes and no answers. But what I really saw was just another child. And asked all the same things everyone else did, about rugs, spices, cooking, and the differences between here and home. Eventually, I think I earned her trust. There were many things that she liked in the city, after all. I say that, but honestly, you two probably caught the majority of what she said. Gotta start somewhere. Oh, by the way, did you guys learn anything about the meteor shower?
You bet we did. Big time. You're in luck, Yoimiya. You'll be able to see the meteor shower from Sumeru.
Really? That's great! If I had gone looking for it myself, I'm sure I would have missed it. Huh? What do you mean? They respond to wishes? Huh, I've never heard that one before. So it's not that you wish upon shooting stars, but that wishes summon them? In that case, I was born ready, don't you worry.
Are you talking about how you want to use the meteor shower as inspiration for fireworks?
That's why I'm here, but I wouldn't call that my wish. I don't think that alone will call the stars down for us, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, she's adding her own spin onto this.
If that's the case, then we'll have to practice wishing a little. Can you two come with me? Let me put my thoughts together and tell me if you understand. As for what my wish is, it's a secret for now.
Yeah, and we'll take the opportunity to show you some views you've definitely never seen before.
More places to see? All right, let's go! Wow! Is that what you two were talking about? Amazing! It's huge! Wait, it's not going to suddenly start moving, right?
Relax, it's completely still, and it's been ages.
That's true. It's green from all the overgrowth on it. All right, let's go. Now, this will make for quite the story. I was wondering, have you seen your sister yet?
Yep, but she said that she'd meet us at the end of our journey, and then she left.
I see. It seems she has her own things to worry about. But it's all right. At least you were able to talk. How did she look? Was she doing well? Had she changed in any way?
Well, according to him, nothing's really changed. He's hanging in there.
That sure is reassuring. I believe that you two will come to an understanding once your journey is over. You are siblings, after all. I didn't think we'd be able to climb all the way up here. What a great view! I just want to shout at the top of my lungs!
Yeah, and even though we might not be viewing the meteor shower from here, it's a good place to practice.
Oops, I was having too much fun and almost forgot about that. Before I left Inazuma, many people heard that I was looking for a meteor shower. So they told me that they wanted to make wishes. I told them that they could write their wishes down on paper. So I ended up collecting several dozens of wishes.
Whoa, that many?
That's part of it, but more importantly, I've been wondering why people link meteor showers and wishes in the first place. After a lot of thought, I think I figured it out. People use fireworks to remember their most precious memories, and these memories sparkle and shine each time the fireworks fly. In other words, fireworks symbolize the past. And shooting stars make people think of wishes, because wishes carry people's brilliant hopes and expectations for the future. One represents the past, and the other the future. They both bloom in the sky, but have completely different meanings behind them. It's really beautiful, isn't it? It's clear to me that I'm not the only one holding this belief. I'm sure my ancestor had similar views. I think that's how he drew inspiration from the meteor shower. His method was a wish of sorts to begin with, to join the past and future together and combine their beauty. At first, I wasn't completely serious about using the opportunity to travel abroad to see a meteor shower, but it became something like a mission once everyone had handed their wishes over to me.
Yoimiya, well said. And here Paimon thought you needed practice.
Huh? That was fine. You both understand what I'm trying to say? Honestly, I thought it was pretty messy. I mean, these are all abstract topics that evoke a sense of admiration that's hard to put into words.
Traveler?
I did consider that possibility, and I won't lie. It'd be a real bummer if that were the case. I know that's the most realistic conclusion, and it's not like luck has to be on my side, but there's a premise to every legend, and that's belief. If I didn't take the step, it's not like a meteor shower would just rain upon me either. I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have known that they respond to wishes, and I wouldn't have seen all these beautiful sights in Sumeru. So I'm looking forward to the rest of our journey. Every single step of it.
You really are amazing, Yoimiya.
What?
Oh, nothing. Paimon just thinks you're doing a good job with the wishes. Now we just need one other thing. Like we said earlier, we're gonna need to build a device. Yep, and once we use it to create an observation device, we can find where the meteor shower will be.
I see. The purest ore. Then why don't we go back to Sumeru City and ask the blacksmith? I chatted with him a bit when Aveen was showing me around. He seems really knowledgeable. I bet he'll know something.
But wouldn't we be bothering him?
No one knows more about ore than a blacksmith. Let's go! I wish we could fly over.
What are we gonna do? If we really ask the blacksmith, he's gonna give us funny looks for sure. You're right. Paimon will do her best not to say anything wrong. At first, Paimon felt bad about keeping Yoimiya in the dark. But now, it feels like we made the right decision. Yep, that's why we're doing all this.
You want to use the purest material to create a star observation device? That pair of specially crafted lenses should do the job. However, purest material is too vague. It'd be better if you were more specific. Firstly, this all sounds rather, strange. I never heard that legend about meteor showers. You sure you're not just messing with me?
Sorry for the trouble, but we are kind of messing with someone.
Sorry, Inazuma's pretty far, so maybe some key information got lost across the ocean. Still, I want to at least give it a shot. Even though the information's vague, can you help us at all?
Well, sure. Why don't I use some materials that might fit the bill and create up a mock-up device for you?
That'd be great! Thanks so much for your help.
No need to be so polite. You're my customer. Also, this kind of project is a nice change of pace.
Maybe we can just pick a random one. It's not like we're really gonna use it anyway.
No, that won't do. I don't think I can justify that to myself. If these were for ordinary use, then it'd be acceptable. Barely. But if you want a product that is top-notch, this is far from ideal.
Why are you so interested all of a sudden? Yeah, what now?
Don't worry too much about the material. If you think it'll be difficult to obtain, we can get it for you. I want to try all our options.
Since we're on the topic of legends, allow me to tell you one about blacksmiths. All of us in Sumeru know about this legendary forging material. It possesses excellent properties that are matched by no other. Using it to forge something is every blacksmith's dream. Some spend their entire lives searching for this material in vain, while others have it in their possession, yet never use it in their forge.
Huh?
That's because the material is too precious. Many believe themselves unworthy to work with it due to a lack of skill. In other words, not only does it represent the pinnacle of material quality, but also the culmination of a smith's skills. I constantly practice and hone myself, so when I do encounter this material, we won't pass each other by like two ships in the night.
So, you mean that it symbolizes dreams?
Dreams, inspiration, obsession, focus. Call it what you want. But if you take it to symbolize purity, then I believe it is your goal as well. We call it Earthstone, but in truth, neither I nor my colleagues have ever seen it. It's more like a goal, and also a warning.
This fits perfectly with the tale of the meteor shower. Then, why don't we go looking for it?
Is it even something we can find?
Exactly! We're chasing down a legend after all. What's true or not doesn't matter as much. If we do find it, that's a big win for us. And if we don't, maybe we can still find something that could be used as a substitute.
When you put it like that...
Hey, excuse me. If I might intrude, have you seen a child in a wheelchair?
Yeah, she and I were hanging out not that long ago. What's the matter?
Do you know where she went? She hasn't returned home yet.
Huh? I wonder why. When we split up, she said she was heading home.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry if I seem worked up. I'm Avine's mother. She's been depressed ever since she fell ill and was forced to use a wheelchair. I'm concerned about her mental health. If she does something reckless because she's not in a good state of mind...
It's okay, don't worry. We'll help you find her. I can't say that I know her very well, but I think she just has a lot on her mind and is trying to come to terms with her feelings.
That's reassuring. She doesn't want to tell me anything, probably because she thinks nothing she says would make either of us feel better. But I can't tell what she's thinking if we don't communicate. I'm worried that I'll panic.
Don't worry. I'm sure she has a reason for wanting some space to herself at the moment. We should just be open and understanding with her. But that does bring me to a question I've been mulling over in my head. Do you think there's something else going on in her life?
Not that I'm aware. She's always been physically active. She absolutely loved to run and jump, and she told me that she wanted to become a great adventurer someday. But after she became ill, she lost strength in both legs. She hasn't been able to stand since. We've consulted with countless doctors, but they're all stumped. They said all she can do is slowly recuperate. No one can say for sure if she'll ever stand or walk again. She believes that her legs will never recover, and her dreams of seeing the world would be forever shattered. This was all too sudden, too unfair.
Okay, I understand. I'll find a way to bring her around. Sorry, but it looks like we'll have to put our meteor shower search on hold.
We're coming with you!
Mr. Blacksmith, do you remember seeing a child in a wheelchair?
Sorry, afraid not. I've been keeping my eyes on my anvil. But you're looking for someone, I suggest dropping in on Sadeg. He's my supplier. If anyone's aware of the comings and goings in Treasure Street, it'd be him.
Do you know where we can find him?
He's probably resting just over there. It's not far.
Got it. Thanks for your help with everything. We'll go over there and see what we can find out. Don't worry, I don't think she's gone too far.
Thank you so much. He and I will continue asking around in the city. If you find her, please, let me know. Thanks again for helping.
My apologies.
Excuse me? Have you seen a child in a wheelchair?
Now that you mention it, that does ring a bell. I was moving some boxes at the time and I saw her pushing her wheelchair so hard she was panting. I asked if she needed help, but she didn't respond, as if she didn't hear me.
Sounds like there really was something on her mind.
Yeah, that was the impression I got too. What's wrong? Did she go missing?
Yes, so we're looking for her.
I see. That's rather worrying. I know. I'll ask my friends and see if they know anything. She went that way. If you ask people as you go, hopefully you'll track her down.
Okay, thanks. If you find out anything, don't forget to tell the people with the green scarves.
You mean the core of 30? Don't worry, I got it.
Excuse me, we're looking for a child in a wheelchair?
Oh, I remember her. She went that way not too long ago. I asked her what she was doing. It's my job, after all. She just said she had something important to do and didn't want to be disturbed.
That seems a little weird.
Whatever the case, she left the city. If you follow that road, you should be able to find her.
Gotcha. Hello there. Did a child in a wheelchair pass this way?
A wheelchair? Oh, so that's what it was. I didn't get a good look, but something going pretty fast went sliding down that slope over there.
Oh no, how dangerous.
For sure. There's terrain of all sorts outside the city, and if that was the kid...
Got it. It was over there, right? We'll be going now. Thanks. Whirling snow!
Hey, are you alright?
I fell off my wheelchair. I can't move around without it. Why? Why?
It's okay. You're okay. You're not hurt. I'll take care of her. Can you two look for her wheelchair?
No problem. We'll be right back. Wheelchair. So the hilly churls took it. We gotta get it back before they damage it.
Illusion shattered! My apologies! All right, we're in luck. Looks like the wheelchair's still working.
That's good. Or else my family would have to pay for another one.
You feeling any better? I know that must have been really scary for you. It's all right. You're safe now. We'll bring you back. Do you feel okay telling me why you had to come here despite the risks? If you don't want anyone else to know, we'll definitely keep it a secret.
That's right. You can trust us.
The Aranara carving. My bestest friend. He went missing.
The carving? You mean the one I gave you?
Yeah. My illness is really bad. It's not just my legs. I've forgotten a lot of stuff too. I used to love running. I loved the feeling it gave me, and the sound of wind rushing by my ears. But the longer I sit, the cloudier those memories get. I'm starting to forget how it feels to love something. But when I saw that wood carving, I remembered that I once had a best friend. He'd always run with me.
Wait, was he an Aranara? Paimon meant that it couldn't have been an Aranara, right? They're just fairy tale characters.
But they aren't. They're real. They couldn't be more real.
Hey, I understand. Okay, let's calm down. Tell us what happened so we can help you.
sorry. I got carried away. And I don't have any evidence to show you. Everyone says you can't see Aranara anymore once you become an adult. You have to say goodbye to your Aranara friends forever. I can't remember his name, or how he looked like. And soon, I'll even forget that he used to run with me. I don't want to become an adult. Not like this.
I understand now. When you saw that carving, you were reminded of your friend. You came out here to look for him and remember that friendship, no matter how difficult things got. Isn't that right?
Yes. I want to see him. I want to tell him that I'm not angry with him, and that I didn't want to break our promise. But then, this happened. I'm not angry with him. Not at all.
Cheer up. Something beautiful has happened.
Beautiful?
That's right. You remembered something about the Aranara, haven't you? Once you start remembering more things, you'll be able to find your friend again. And I'll help you.
Yoimiya, does this mean that you can also see Aranara?
Sorry, I don't know if I can. I've only just arrived in Sumeru. Maybe I haven't seen one yet, or maybe I can't see them at all. But that doesn't matter. Whether I can see them or not doesn't change my belief that you can.
What do we do? Paimon really wants to help her. She didn't deserve any of this. Not her illness, or being separated from her friend, but...
Huh? Me? Sure. Sorry. Wait here for a moment. I'll be right back. What's wrong? You look so serious all of a sudden. Oh, did you think I was overpromising back there? Don't worry, I have experience with this kind of thing. To her, reuniting with her Aranara friend is the result. But recapturing her past joy and belief in herself is the process. And that's where our help is needed. I'm guessing that her sudden illness made her feel like she may not be able to realize her dreams anymore. It also made it difficult for her to hold on to the happy memories and dreams she had. Everyone has their own imagination. After some chance coincidence, she met Aranara. So as long as we help her rediscover that same feeling she once had, her Aranara will return naturally.
Oh, so that's what you're thinking.
Adults only want to believe in objective reality. In doing so, they may unintentionally do harm to the innocent fantasies of children. But I think there are ways to get even subjective things back. So, how about it? Want to help me out?
Looks like all this excitement made you forget your original goal again.
If we didn't do anything to help, I wouldn't be able to watch a meteor shower, even if it appeared right now. And would the stars really want their caller to have such a heartless soul? What are you trying to say?
Because we can actually summon the Aranara.
Really?
Just watch! We have some tricks up our sleeves.
Whoa, so this is an Aranara. I'm the one who should be apologizing. Sorry, let me explain. I know that you only want to be seen by people you trust. It's rash of me to butt in. But this girl once had an Aranara as her best friend, and they haven't met in a very long time. She's been quite ill, and her world has been turned upside down. It's been so long since she's been able to see her friend that even her memory of him has become hazy. Parting with a friend like that is too sad, and she never wanted that to happen. That's why I want to help her. Her world is still very small. too small for all the sadness she has to bear. As things are, all she can do is sit alone and think about how happiness is leaving her little by little. About how life has been so unfair to her. Yes, maybe we're already used to bad luck and we know how to deal with feelings of sorrow and disappointment, but this is her first time dealing with any of this. Life can trip anyone up. What's most important in times like this is for us to support one another.
Huh? What do you mean by that? So, that means...
Thank you!
Thanks for trusting us.
Paimon's been meaning to ask what you meant by prepared.
Dreams. But I'll never be able to stand again. Even if I can recover, I don't know how long that'll take. My heart...
Huh? He's gone just like that? It looks like the sky here has changed somewhat.
My heart...
Huh?
I stood up. It wasn't hard at all, and it didn't feel weird. It was like how things were before I got sick.
Wait, so that means we're... not our first time in one. No wonder Arapurva said not to worry. Aveen can move freely in this dream.
Wow, that's amazing. Is this the power of my heart?
How amazing! Now we can all look for Arashani together. Come on, let's race. Let me see how good you really are.
I might not have recovered yet. Whatever, let's go. I won't lose, not even to an adult.
And off she goes. Well, this was easy. Paimon thought she'd need more time. That's true. Let's catch up with them.
If we had run any further, you would have caught up.
Aveen's toe-to-toe with Yoimiya!
I've outran lots of adults before. Long legs don't necessarily mean you run faster. Training's important too.
I won't even be able to compete with you in a few years. Let's see. Where should we go next?
Look! Something's floating up ahead!
Does it want us to follow it?
Maybe. Let's follow it. Up and away. want to keep chasing after it? You're not feeling worn out yet?
Getting tired is part of running, and I love everything about running.
Way. Show. Whoa! There are so many huge mushrooms here! They're big enough to lie on!
That's not what they're for! Let me show you!
So, this is our destination? But Paimon doesn't see an Aranara, just this big stone.
I'm so happy. I almost forgot how it feels to be this happy. You know, at first, it felt like my world had shrunk down to a tiny space. But as long as I continue moving forward, new sights will always appear in front of me. And my world will keep expanding before my eyes. Even though I don't know how I did it, I know I have you all to thank.
Oh, that's not important. What's important is that you remember the joy of going through the world. Our memories don't just symbolize our past, they can also shine a light in our future. Once you find the hope in your heart again, that happiness will come back to you.
Yes. Thank you, Yoimiya. Thank you all. Let's keep looking for Arashani. It doesn't look like he's here.
Yeah. Then why would the star lead us here?
I don't know how to explain this. I don't know what it is, but it feels very familiar. Almost like it's a part of me.
I know. Could this stone be your Earthstone?
Earthstone?
It's a very rare ore that symbolizes a person's aspirations and dreams. Since you can see it, that means you found what you've lost.
Is that how it works? It's just like in fairy tales. I thought I'd stopped believing in those. But I'm glad that I found that belief again.
They passed right through!
Let's go after them.
Hey, Yoimiya! Hey! Well, we have no choice. We passed through, but nothing seems to have changed.
Arashani? Arashani!
The R&R is sure have a flair for magical journeys. They not only helped Devine find her best friend, but they also showed us what an Earthstone is. Oh, we have to look for one of our own later, to make the purest lens.
Yep. It's kind of funny, but Paimon thinks we can actually do it.
But we have to bring her back to Sumeru City first. Her mother must be worried sick.
The dream ended.
We dreamed a most lovely dream. Don't look so lonely. He's right next to you.
Arashani, you're still here. It's okay. I understand. This happened because I lost sight of myself. But I think I understand now. Yoimiya's right. Everyone gets bad luck, but we have to support each other through unlucky times. Thanks for helping me rediscover my memories and dreams. I won't let your work go to waste.
You've also helped us a lot, so don't be so humble. To be honest, we didn't know where to start with Earthstone. But now that we're on this track, I think we'll find it easy.
Yoimiya, you need this Earthstone because you want to see a meteor shower?
Yep. Oh, once we find it, you should come with us.
If that's how things are, I'm happy to lend you...
What just happened? Did you just take glasses out of your chest?
How'd you know we'd need this?
I didn't. I just thought that since you helped me find my precious friend, I should help you, using something precious to me. And then the light turned into this. Is this what you needed?
Thank you. I didn't expect us to solve our problem like this. All right, time to give it a go. Not that I know how to use it, but let's see what my intuition says. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, I think I see it! Oh, it was, pretty obvious. Come on, I'll lead the way. Once we're done watching the meteor shower, I'll accompany you home. Also, thank you for helping us. Actually, let me scrap the pleasantries and give you a heartfelt compliment instead. You all are great storytellers.
Shine down!
meteors we summoned flew up from the ground. They were exactly like fireworks. I could have kept watching that forever. That was the realest, grandest, most magical dream I've ever had.
Paimon, too! Paimon didn't expect you to just pull us onto that shooting star, though.
Honestly, I didn't think about it at all. I just thought it'd be a shame if we didn't try something crazy. You know me. It really doesn't matter to me if our experience was real or a dream. I really should thank you two, though. You set all this up as a backup plan because you knew that meteor showers are hard to catch, right? Don't worry, I loved it so much. I think this ranks as the absolute best gift I've ever been given.
Oh, whew. That's good. Paimon was afraid you might be angry after hearing the truth.
Why would I be? I dreamed about helpful, friendly, cute Aranara. I dreamed that we ran and jumped atop large mushrooms and we discovered Earthstone in a very unexpected way. And when I thought we had woken up, the next part was even more amazing. From her heart, a fiend brought forth Earthstone glasses. We found meteors that flew up from the Earth. And we even became one with the shooting stars themselves. That's right. Dreams themselves may be imaginary, but they're also experiences that can never be relived or replicated. If we were sticklers about truth in fiction, we would have missed out on so much beauty and emotion.
You sure know your way with words. Paimon's gonna bump you up a few places on the Paimon's best friend list. By the way, the Aranara, they don't usually like...
Oh yeah! They're so cute! We really have to thank those lovely carvings.
The wood carvings?
Yeah! If we hadn't seen those wood carvings, then we wouldn't have dreamed of such cute Aranara.
Huh.
Don't worry, I know. I think they're very cute, and I'm happy to protect them. Well, it's almost time. Let's send her home. Sumeru's such a nice place. I'll be back for sure.
You will always be welcome here. Aveen would be happy to see you again.
It's a deal. I'll be waiting for you.
You got it.
Yoimiya, before you go back, I want to tell you about my new dream. I want to travel to Inazuma on my own and watch a fireworks show there.
Wow, that's impressive. I didn't expect to be introduced to new customers while on vacation. Don't worry, I'll make you some fireworks that you'll never forget. You too as well. No matter how busy your adventures get, remember to come back to Inazuma. We'll always welcome you no matter when you drop by. You gotta come and watch the fireworks this meteor shower inspired as they soar high in the sky.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, why'd you just shout that out? It's embarrassing. Oh yeah, by the way, have a look at this. That's right, this is the one you helped me pick. And you said it looked kind of like me. I went to buy another one. This one's for you. Look at it whenever you're feeling down. Who knows? Maybe it'll raise your spirits. If nothing else, you'll know that I'm supporting you all the way. Of course, meeting in person is still better. Okay, I'll be heading back now. I'm sure we'll meet again soon. I really loved the trip you prepared for me. In fact, I'm totally impressed. No matter where you two go, I know that our friendship and its warmth will support you. So, go forward, to the end of your journey and to the ends of this world. See you around.
These cursed scholars.
I've taken a look at your proposal. It's much better than the ones you showed me before, but I'd still like to make some changes.
Oh, come on, not again. Isn't this the 6th proposal I've shown you? What's your issue this time?
It's a bit hard to put into words, but the design still doesn't look quite right to me.
I have to say, that's a terribly vague and unconvincing explanation. Please enlighten me. What would feel more right to you?
For starters, don't you think this roof is jutting out a bit too far from the top? It looks almost like the head of a fungus. This door, too. I don't think it needs to be nearly this large. If you could reduce it to around my height, you could use the leftover materials to construct a few more rooms.
The roof and the door are the most fundamental parts of a building. If we were to change them, then what would be left of the design? Even if the soul of the building won't be lost, all traces of architectural style would be gone. Anyone with the slightest inkling of architectural knowledge would know to leave them alone.
Oh, I understand the principles of what you are saying, of course, but the truth remains that I'm still a bit unhappy with the design as is. Is there anything else that you can do? Oh, actually, I just got an idea. Can we get rid of all the extraneous sections on the roof, so the whole design will just be one vertical structure, similar to that of a tree trunk?
What?
Don't architects often say that symmetry makes everything more balanced and pleasing to the eye? This way, the proportions will be completely balanced.
I really don't know how you managed to come up with such a ridiculous idea. Wait, don't tell me. Someone hired you specifically to commission me and put me through the ringer? Come to think of it, though, I really don't think I've gotten on anyone's bad side recently. Anyway, that's it. I will not be working on this commission anymore. Goodbye. Maybe you can find yourself some other genius who'll be able to satisfy your demands.
Hey, young man, please wait!
Actually, while we're on that, what are you doing here at the tavern? Don't listen to anyone who says that drinking is an elegant pastime. It's no good for your health. So you saw all that, did you? Ugh, I thought I was in the clear. I made sure to double check that nobody I knew was around. Anyway, thanks for looking out for me. Honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm used to it by now. Stress is just an inescapable part of being a working adult. Boss, I'll have a glass of wine, same as last time. Do you want something too? I'll put it on my tab.
Wine and a glass of juice coming right up.
I know you're already keeping a secret from me, but if you could add this one to the list as well, I'd really appreciate it. Arguing with a client is not a good look for me. If word gets out, other potential clients might be afraid to work with me. That guy, though, what was he even going on about? All those ridiculous demands of his? He's just a blabbering fool trying to act like a know-it-all. Another glass, please, boss. I'm not leaving today till someone has to carry me out.
You've got it, sir. I gotta say, though, it almost feels like you're saying that every other day now.
It really is every other day that you'd run into a client who knows nothing about construction requirements or architectural style. If this was in the past, I'd never have gone through 6 whole drafts trying to accommodate the client's preferences. But perhaps getting used to this just means that I've grown numb to it. I've worked on so many projects since graduation, and none of them have been approved at the first pass. I would spend a lot of time altering my designs, and by the time the clients were finally satisfied, all my passion and enthusiasm would be gone. It feels like I'm straying further and further from my artistic vision with every change I have to make. I suppose, though, that just sticking to your guns and completely disregarding other people's feedback would also not be a good thing. All of this makes for a real paradox, one that particularly crops up in my work, too. In the end, what is the true meaning of art? Should I see it as a divine gift of inspiration from the gods? Or an expression of the light of my own wisdom?
Here's your drink. How are you already spouting nonsense after just one glass? Your tolerance is usually much better than that.
Boss, what do you think is the meaning of art?
The meaning of art? Really, my friend, who in Sumeru understands art better than you? Anyway, I don't know about art, but I do know that I'm interested in business, and some patrons are waiting to be served. So, you'll have to excuse me for now. Just holler if you need anything.
What do you think, traveler? Yes, art shouldn't be self-indulgent entertainment saved for the elite. Let's say that I built a house for someone. If they don't like how it looks, then no matter how brilliant it may appear to me, they won't be happy with it. The problem is that it can be very difficult to get validated by others. I could compromise my personal standards to accommodate my clients, but often that just means creating a final product that I would struggle to look at. Thanks for offering, but you've seen how he is. He's not going to listen to anything I say. He understands nothing about my design, and all the suggestions he made were as if he just wanted to mock me. You mean, if I managed to get him to see things my way, then this project would also gain recognition from many people? You've got a point. Let's hear him out one more time, then. Time to get going. I know where we'd be able to find the guy. There's no time to waste. The wine can wait until another time. I'll go take care of the bill. I know you're already keeping a secret from me, but if you could add this one to the list as that guy. Another glass.
You've got it.
It really is, but perhaps I would spend a lot. I suppose, though, all of this makes.
Here's your drink.
Boss?
The meaning of. Anyway,
What do you think? Exactly. In Sumeru, it's too bad. Sounds great to me. I don't even want to think about this project anymore. But what should we do? It's probably not a good idea to just drink until I pass out here. Huh? Where did that come from? I mean, it's not like it's some kind of secret. You probably already know some bits and pieces of my past. My mother is also an architect. I've always adored her drawings, and when I was young, I used to sit next to her and watch her bring all kinds of buildings to life on paper. You could say my interest in architecture just naturally grew with time. Perhaps. In fact, I have also seen my mother argue with her clients, but she would always quickly find the motivation to return to her work. Unfortunately, I've barely had any contact with her since she remarried and moved abroad. Even if I wanted to ask her about her ability to stay positive after an argument, it would seem rude to barge into her life again over something as trivial as that. I did remember something else, though. When my mother left, she only carried some small personal luggage with her. She left most of the belongings in the house to me. At the time, she even told me that it would be great if I could learn a few lessons from her life experiences, so my life and career could go a little more smoothly. I hadn't quite come to grips with my emotions, and didn't really have it in me to go through any sentimental items, so I just packed anything with memories away in a box and haven't reopened it since. It's been a really long time. Now that so many years have passed, maybe I have finally developed the maturity I need to face those memories without losing my mind. Yeah, I should dig it out and take a look. Sorry, I've had too much to drink and wasn't thinking clearly. You're right. I should do these kinds of things with the support of a friend. Speaking of that, I can call you a friend now, right? Either way, thanks for reminding me that I can invite you to come along. Had I just gone back by myself, it would have looked like I'm deliberately trying to keep things from you. Thinking too hard about the words is giving me a headache, so I'll just give it to you straight. Thanks to your advice, I have decided to put my current projects on pause for now, and spend some time trying to rekindle the passion for my craft. If you want to stick around and see how this will turn out, you'll be sure to encounter some bits and pieces of my past. Do you think you'd find that too boring? All right, then let's head back together. I mean, you already know where I live. Who knew that the day would come when I too would have some friends over? Let me see. I should have tidied up the place before I left the house this morning. AETHER shouldn't be home now either. He's usually in the records room at this time of the day. Anyway, there's no more time for drinks. I'll go take care of the bill. Taking this commission was truly the worst decision. Actually, while we're on that, what are you doing here at the tavern? Stress is just an inescapable part of being a working adult. Boss, do you want something too? I'll put it on my tab.
Wine in a glass.
I know you're already keeping a secret from me. That guy. Another glass.
You've got it.
It really is, but perhaps I would spend a lot I suppose all of this
Here's your drink.
Boss?
The meaning of. Anyway, I don't know.
What do you think? Exactly. In Sumeru, it's too bad. Sounds great. A different career. I think I've heard a saying somewhere before. 80% of a working adult's woes are due to not having enough mora in the bank. It's just a saying, of course, but even I will admit that my life would be a lot better if I could make additional mora. And if I want to make mora, I should finish that ridiculous commission. But I really can't find it in me to go back and talk to him right now. Hold on. I just remembered that I used to have a senior classmate by the name of Alkami. If memory serves me right, he's no longer taking private commissions, but he's still doing pretty well for himself. Maybe I'll be able to get some advice from him. Yeah, I should get on this right away. No more wine for me today. I'll grab the bill and be on my way.
Kaveh?
I've changed my mind. I was overreacting earlier. Can we try discussing the project some more?
My apologies as well. Now that I think about it, some of my requests were indeed a bit unreasonable. If I choose you to create the design for my project, I should have a bit more faith in your vision.
Thank you for understanding. Mutual trust is the basis for good communication. Now that we've got that out of the way, I think we can have a more productive conversation. To be perfectly honest, your commission request has been the most peculiar one I've ever received. Even now, I still know nothing about the building's intended purpose. All I know is that you want to build something in the desert for public use. I am aware that overly specific requests will restrain the architect's artistic freedom. However, knowing nothing about the intended purpose of the building also means I have no idea if I'm on the right track. I've produced several draft proposals for you to choose from, and you've rejected every single one. If we don't get on the same page, it could be a decade before we can finally break ground on this project.
Yes, I've given this some thought already. I think we can go with the general direction of the latest proposal that you just showed me. It's just...
Just what?
Putting the building design aside, can we get some less expensive materials for the floor tiles? Yeah, I know someone in the business, and the red bricks he sells can go for pretty cheap. The timber here as well. We should be able to find some substitutes.
Please give me a moment. My head's starting to hurt again. Just please hold on for a second. So, let me get this straight. You want to reduce the cost of the project, right? But if we implement your suggestions, then I'm afraid we have to scrap the entire design. Architectural design cannot be neatly split into discrete parts. Any change to one part of the design will affect the quality of the whole thing. I decided to utilize high-end timber for this section because the weight-bearing structure requires the supporting materials to be durable and strong. Same with the tiles. Switch them out and the entire mural will have to be redesigned. More importantly, if we make such a change, both its practical functionality and aesthetic value will take a great hit. If all you need is a building with a roof that can keep people dry in the rain, you shouldn't have commissioned me. Many architects would be able to build you one of those while charging far less in commission fees.
Actually, Please tell me, are you absolutely sure that there's no room for any changes in this draft of the design?
I think the most important thing for me is to understand what you would actually like to get. If you could tell me more about your vision, I might be able to work with the design some more. You are the client, after all. You should have the final say on how the project turns out.
I want to build something unique. Something quiet and warm inside. A refuge that can block out the world outside. I want all who enter this building to be able to temporarily forget everything that's going on outside of the building and just focus on their task at hand.
That's a bit more information than last time, but it's still extremely vague. To put it another way, every rich person who wants to build a mansion for themselves would request something like this. We've gone through many proposals, and this draft is already the cheapest one. Cutting costs by substituting building materials will not only detract from the overall effect of the building, it also won't save you much more in the grand scheme of things.
Thank you for giving it so much thought. Please give me some more time to mull over the budget. I'll get back to you once I've figured out a solution. I still have a few business meetings that I must attend, so I'm afraid I'll have to leave for now. You can just leave the proposal as is. I'll get in touch once I've given it some more thought.
I also have a similar feeling. Is that really okay? I mean, what he does now is none of our business. He does seem really suspicious, though. He dresses like a rich person, but when you talk to him, he hardly sounds the part. That's actually pretty common. Not all rich people are spendthrifts. Many are just, as if not more, stingy than him. The more mora some people have, the more they love interfering with people's lives. Like constantly reminding you to pay back your debts, or hinting every other day that it's time for you to pay rent. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not even sure this person really wants to work on this project with me. Putting his vague requests aside, he's still finding excuses to procrastinate even when we've decided on a plan. Who knows how long construction will take if he keeps delaying things like this? We should find him again and get some clearer answers. The sooner we can break ground on this, the better. Huh? Where did he go? I could have sworn he went this way. Let's keep looking. Oh, hey, look! Isn't that Badawi? It sure looks like him, but he's dressed completely different now. What is he up to?
Didn't I tell you before? I'm not looking for more workers. Plus, aren't you a bit old for physical labor? If something happens to you, I won't be able to pay for it.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that. I grew up as an eremite mercenary and worked in the desert my entire life. My body's still in great shape. I don't have many talents, but I still have my muscle. If you need someone to unload goods or drive away sumpter beasts, I'm your man.
You used to be an eremite mercenary?
I know there are a lot of bad apples in our ranks, but most are just trying to make a living. We're not that greedy by nature, and we'll do our best when given a job.
Let me think. I'm sorry, but I still can't take you in. I don't have any open positions right now, and don't have the Mora for anything more. How about this? Why don't you try your luck somewhere else?
Okay.
He used to be a member of the Eremites? Huh. From the way he was dressed, I would have thought he was a merchant from the rainforest. Let's ask him about it. We meet again.
Huh? Why are you guys here?
That's what we wanted to ask you. Who are you? Why did you dress up like a merchant to talk to me about our project? There's no need for us to continue this project if you still want to keep hiding things from us. I don't work with individuals I can't trust.
Believe me, I didn't have any bad intentions. It's just... All right, there's no point hiding anything anymore. The building I'm trying to commission you for is not really a personal residence for me, but rather a library for children living in the desert.
A library? Funded entirely by yourself? Shouldn't this be the responsibility of the academia? I've heard that the academia will be looking to prioritize the desert with the allocation of educational resources and materials. It sent over a large shipment of regular goods just last month.
You're right, and I was aware of these happenings as well. I just figured what I want to do is a separate effort from what's already being done by the academia. The desert is too vast. Even if the academia spends a lot of effort trying to disseminate knowledge in those parts, it might still take decades, if not centuries, to reduce the educational gap that already exists between the two regions. And what's more, I don't know if the academia would ever reverse its stance in the future. All I know is that as a desert dweller, we should not wait passively for good things to happen to us. If we only did that, we'd never be able to stand up and hold our heads high. I don't have much longer left on this world, so I just want to use whatever time I have to contribute something to my homeland. I didn't want you to know that I came from the desert. I've lived in the desert my entire life, and there wasn't anyone here that I could trust. I figured I needed as much safety as I could get.
To the point that you even disguised your identity? That's certainly taking playing it safe to the next level. Hold on. Don't tell me you've also been scammed before.
When I first came to Sumeru City, I brought a lot of Mora, hoping to find an architect that I could work with. Someone agreed to take on the project, and even took a sum of Mora from me, but then disappeared without a trace. After that, I heard that there are a lot of untrustworthy people in this business. Some would run as soon as they've been paid, while others would deliberately use expensive materials and take a cut of the construction funding. I spent a while collecting information in the city, and eventually learned that you're the most famous architect in all of Sumeru. I figured that you wouldn't need to make Mora by scamming people, so I decided to reach out to you. By the way, how did you know I was scammed? I don't think I've ever mentioned that to anybody.
Just a hunch. A while ago, I accepted an offer to work on a project in the desert, and was also scammed out of a large sum of Mora. I ran into someone who was living in a pretty run-down house. I noticed a load-bearing wall on the verge of collapse, and suggested that I build a new house for him. He said that he had no way to pay for it, so I loaned him some of my own Mora, and told him to get some stone and timber from the local vendors. Soon after that, I found out that he had gone gambling with all the money, and lost everything, down to the last coin. And after that, he even borrowed Mora from me twice more, using a different excuse each time. I didn't even suspect him of any wrongdoing until he hired a group of mercenaries and tried to ambush me in his own house. According to him, I looked like an easy target because I was an academia scholar who didn't have any family or friends in the desert. What kind of person would just look at someone else and think, this guy looks like an easy target?
Those kinds of things do happen every once in a while, yes. Folks like him are the exact reason why us desert dwellers' reputation have gone down the drain. I must apologize to you on their behalf.
It's all right. You were also scammed by someone from Kasharwar, after all. I should apologize to you on their behalf. Ultimately, neither of our experiences had anything to do with the desert or the rainforest. People who are new to an area are always easy targets for criminals. Yeah, you'll find both good and bad people everywhere. I can't understand the logic of those who like to take advantage of others, but I have to accept their existence as a fact of life. Anyway, I digress. Let's return to the topic at hand. Did you keep rejecting my designs because you thought I was deliberately using expensive materials to take a cut as a middleman?
That's what I was afraid of initially, yes. I eventually understood that you weren't out to cheat me. But unfortunately, I still don't have nearly enough Mora to pay for the design you proposed. I've done the math and know that we should be able to make it if we cut some corners. However, after our conversations, I can see that you're passionate about your design, and I'm quite fond of the proposal as well. So, I decided to try and see if I can afford your proposal as is. I've been looking for work every day, and in another month, I should be able to cobble together enough Mora to meet the budget.
By cobble together, you mean you're going to spend your entire life savings on this project? But then, what will you do if something unexpected comes up, and you find yourself stuck with no emergency fund?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about that. I mean, when you've lived to be my age and something happens, you can't really call it unexpected anymore. All I want is to build this library before I leave this world, so that the children of the future would have some books to read, and the desert dwellers would be able to learn their letters and pick up some practical knowledge. A while ago, I heard that the academia had decided to recruit a number of exceptional children from the desert. Of course, this is welcomed news. But as someone who's spent their entire life in the desert, I still have a few concerns. I know the desert life and can predict what the problems will be. Many children from the desert have had neither the interest nor the proper environment to learn. So even if the academia would take them in, once they enter the halls, they might find themselves surrounded by other children who look and act very differently from them. And as a result, they might become socially isolated.
Yes, I can imagine that. My father passed away at an early age. Even though I had a good number of friends during my years at the academia, for some time I still sensed many critical looks in my direction. I'm sure a child coming all the way from the desert will have an even harder time. But let's bring this back to the building itself. I think you said that you want this building to be quiet and warm, with its doors serving as a solid barrier to block out the sound and fury outside, and allow one to focus on the book in their hands. Building it according to... Any ideas on what we can do? A slightly different style. Give me a minute. Most architects would probably prioritize cutting costs and removing extra features in this situation. Indeed, converting the building into a simple bungalow would solve most of our problems. However, I do not think this would be the best solution. While it's true that the aesthetic value of a building is often viewed as an afterthought, neglecting it has some long-term negative consequences. It is especially undesirable in this situation, as the library will serve a high number of children, many of whom would have never been exposed to structures that may be considered elegant or beautiful. To completely give up on the more aesthetic design would mean stripping the children of an opportunity to appreciate the beauty of architecture. I share Badawi's sentiments in wanting to preserve a more complex design. However, if we can reduce the ornate aspects of the design while maintaining its fundamental elegance, which is to say we won't touch the arches and stone pillars, but make changes elsewhere. This is definitely a first. To make up for the loss of regular details, we would need to put a lot of extra effort into the layout, lines, and color.
I see. Would that really be okay?
It just increases the difficulty of the design. You should feel lucky that out of all the architects in the city, you chose to approach me. Most of the others would have given up on this project by now. As for inspiration, I think I might have something in mind, but I'd need to visit the site to make sure. Where do you want this place to be built? Tell me the exact location.
Aru Village. Although it wasn't my childhood home, I think it'll be the best site for such a building.
Okay, then we can pay a visit to Aru Village.
Is there something I can do for you? I've already caused you a lot of trouble before, and now you're revising the design again because of me. Which draft are we even on now? It's making me feel terribly guilty.
Let me think. You said you used to be an Eremite mercenary, right? In that case, you could help us clear out some monsters that are blocking the way to Aru Village. We want to keep the roads clear, and reduce the loss of materials during transport to a minimum. If everything goes well, that'll help us save some Mora.
All right, just leave it to me. If there's anything I'm good at, it's clearing out monsters.
What are you waiting for then? Let's pack up and get ready to go.
Still need some more Mora.
Everyone hold hands!
I still need some more Mora.
We meet again.
Huh?
That's what we wanted. There's no need.
Believe me.
A library? I've heard that the
You're right. The desert is too... And what's more... All I know is I don't have much longer left on it. I didn't want you...
To the point that you...
When I first... Someone agreed to take on... After that, I spent a while... By the way...
Just a hunt. I ran into some... He said that he had... And after that, according to...
Those kinds of...
It's ultimately neither of our experience... Yeah, you'll find... But anyway...
That's what I was... I've done the math, so... To be honest, all I want is to build this life. A while ago, I know so even if
Yeah, my father, I'm sure a child, but let's break building it according to the... Sponsor the project? You mean convince wealthy merchants to join our cause and pool their money together to build the library? That does make sense. A library is a big project, and it's going to be hard to fund it with just a single person's Mora. What do you think? If we can find others to sponsor the project, we could potentially increase the size of the building 2- or 3-fold.
It's all fine with me, but where do you think we'll be able to find these sponsors?
Well, you're right. If I really think about it, I'm not too familiar with many big-name merchants. Her? Hard pass. With her shrewd and greedy personality, she would never put Mora into something like this. Now there's an idea. She probably won't say no if all she'll need to do is to make some introductions instead of spending Mora. Let's go and pay her a visit. AETHER isn't in, so feel free to sit wherever. I'll bring out the box. Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed. The box is pretty dusty, which means it's already been a while since I've moved into this place, and many years since my mother moved to Fontaine. I'm happy for her. I hope she'll be able to find happiness there. She raised me all by herself after my father passed away. It definitely wasn't easy for her. Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what I packed into this box. What are all these things? Oh, I remember now. This is a drawing I made in Port Ormos. Obviously, I wouldn't call it anything special now, but I was less than 5 years old when I made this drawing. That's more than 20 years ago. You could say it's pretty good for a child of that age. Now that I've said that out loud, I suppose I do have some level of artistic talent, right? Criticism and self-doubt have always been a part of the artistic process. Without criticism, there can be no improvement. It's normal for me to question my abilities from time to time. I admit that I may have spent a little too long questioning myself this time around, but as you know, the heart tends to dwell on whatever it pleases. Anyway, never mind. The more I talk about it, the less confident I feel. Let's see what else we have in the box. My building blocks! It's been years since I've last seen these. When I was a kid, I used to stack them super high, and could even stabilize the tower to keep it from tumbling over. Oh, and this blueprint. I made it by copying my mother's sketch, and the aspect ratio was horrendous. It's still technically the first blueprint I made myself, though. I was super proud of myself when I finished it, and put it in the same pile as my mother's sketches, hoping she'd notice and compliment me for my good work. Unfortunately, my mother didn't realize that I had put it there. When she had a meeting with a client the next day, she handed my blueprint to him by mistake. The client was completely confused by this new blueprint, but apparently he felt too tongue-tied to question such a famous architect. It was only a few days later that he finally gathered up the courage to pay my mother a visit. He asked, "The door in this blueprint is even taller than the roof. Is this supposed to be part of the design?" My mother took me with her to personally apologize to the client several times. She didn't scold me about it in private, though. Instead, she went over all the steps required to draw a good blueprint, and was very patient throughout the whole process. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Let's see, is there anything else left in this box? Huh. What was this again? Ah, this is my mother's notebook. She used to write and sketch in it all the time. When I was a child, I used to be super fascinated by this notebook, and always pestered my mother to let me read it. After asking her a few times, she told me that I could read it as long as I could guess the password. Huh. Wonder why she didn't take this notebook with her. Did she leave it to me on purpose? If only I could. I never managed to guess the password. Hey, it's not a matter of time, it's a matter of inspiration. That's what we need to guess the password. Who knows? Maybe this time something will click in my head, and the answer will just present itself. Let me think. I could tell what you were thinking. Don't worry, I tried all the easy guesses a long time ago. I've tried my name, my father's name, my mother's name, my grandparents' names on both sides, and all of our birthdays. I've tried every name and number remotely related to my family. I've even tried stuff like Love You Kaveh, Take Care, and Yours Truly. I've tried every cheesy phrase and well-wish in the book, but this lock has refused to budge. I wouldn't try that route again. I have a hunch that it won't be that simple. Also, if she really did use something like that, she'd never hear the end of it from the folks over at Haravatat if they ever found out. So we could find someone who was close to my mother and see if they might know anything? I see what you're saying, but who should we talk to for that? My mother was never really the one to be social. My father was the one with more friends, but all those connections were severed when he died. Let me think. Is there still someone at the academia who would know my mother? Ah, actually, there is someone. Professor Zaha Hadi. Huh, you've never really heard of her? She's a famous Kasharwar scholar and leading expert in formal garden design. My mother studied under her as a student many years ago. Professor Zaha Hadi published many works during her career, so I was able to learn a lot by studying her essays. If there's anyone who still remembers my mom, it'd be her. She's older now and is no longer teaching at the academia. But if I remember correctly, she spends most of her time around the Bimarstan area. Let's go take a look. We might run into her if we're lucky. AETHER isn't in, so... Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed. I'm happy for her. Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what I packed into this box. What are all these things? Oh, I remember now. This is a drawing I made in Port Ormos. Obviously, I wouldn't call it anything special now, but I was less than 5 years old when I made this drawing. That's more than 20 years ago. Now that I've said the criticism, I admit that I made... Anyway, never mind. My bill... Oh, I was super... Unfortunately, it was only a few days later that my mother took... She didn't scold... Let's see, is there anything else left in this box? Huh. What was this again? This is when I was a child. Huh. Wonder... If only I could. Hey, it's not a matter of time. Who knows? Maybe this time. I could tell what you were thinking. I've tried my name. I've even tried stuff. I wouldn't try that. Yeah, you're right. Everyone's life journey is different. Traveler, you've visited many lands and met many people, so I'm sure you've run into situations where some advice wasn't exactly suitable for the situation at hand. I just got an idea, though. If I want to rekindle the creative passion that I had before, instead of trying to unlock an old notebook, why don't I take a walk around the parts of town that had changed my life? What do you think? I'm glad you agree. Then let's start by taking a quick stroll around the academia.
not sure what to do next, how about I take you on a walk?
Ah, Kaveh, it's you! It's been a while. What have you been up to recently?
Yeah, it's been a long time, Alkami. Things haven't changed much for me. I'm still taking private commissions for all kinds of projects.
I heard that you were the genius behind the Palace of Alcazazare. I bet you're all set for Mora after a project of that size.
Well, it's hard to make a profit from every project, you know?
Hard to make a profit? You've got to be joking. I've never met an architect who didn't make a profit from a project. Unless the client fled before they paid the commission fee in full. But that doesn't sound right either. Doesn't Dory have a pretty decent reputation in our local business circles? I don't think she's ever been involved in any kind of big scandal.
Well, about that. I mean, it was complicated.
I understand. Either way, doing one project after another sure gets exhausting over the years, huh? I've been there, so I can feel your pain. I mean, I obviously never had your reputation to live up to. That must have been stressful. But I'm sure we've faced all the same problems. Trying to keep your client in a good mood while you're trying to stop them from micromanaging things they don't know the first thing about. I don't miss it. Not exactly. My work is still closely related to architecture. Judging from the look on your face, you're still strapped for Mora. That's quite unfortunate. You're the most artistically gifted graduate the Ksharawar Darshan has seen in decades. But it looks like you still have a lot to learn in terms of making Mora. With that said, us Ksharawar grads should still look out for each other. What if I told you about an idea that'll absolve you of all your Mora troubles going forward?
Are you serious? But something like that has got to be some kind of top-level business secret. Are you sure you can just share something like that with me? Besides, I don't want to just take something like that without offering anything in return. I still have a little Mora. Or is there something that I can help you with?
Oh, you're too kind. This is just a simple tip. Even if I didn't bring it up, I'm sure you'd hear it from the others sooner or later. The idea is this. I recently opened up a training center with the goal of educating people in architecture design. Compared to the classes taught by those old fossils at the academia, my classes are more condensed and streamlined and will allow people to quickly get their foot in the door. Unlike the academia, I won't turn down anyone who's interested, rich or poor. As long as someone wishes to learn more about architecture, I'll accept them into my training center. It just so happens that I'm still looking for a few more instructors. So, what do you say? Interested in coming over to give a few lectures? Regardless of the pay, I can already guarantee that it'll be far more comfortable than working on random people's private commissions.
Ah, so you want me to join you as an instructor? That does sound like something I'd be able to do. It sounds like a pretty stable job, too. What do you think, Traveler?
Then it's a deal?
Yes, it's a deal. Thank you, Alkami.
Like I said, there's no need to thank me for this. The lecture room is not far from here, so you can just come straight here tomorrow morning. As for the pay, how about we start at 300,000 Mora per lecture?
300,000? Are you serious? How could you offer so much?
It would seem that you're still oblivious to your own economic worth. 300,000 is nothing compared to the prestige of having the Light of Ksharawar as one of my instructors. 300,000 is also just the base rate. Just trust me on this. The longer you stick with me, the more you'll come to understand your true value in the market. I have to go make some preparations now. See you tomorrow.
I was never particularly close with Alkami when we were in school. Who would have thought that he'd be so nice and friendly? I've hosted free lectures before, but this would be my first time being hired to lecture for a formal business. 300,000 mora per lecture. Whew! I'm so excited that I'm starting to get nervous. Thanks so much. I think I will be able to relax a bit more with a friend in the audience. Now, what should I talk about tomorrow? Some lessons I've learned over the past few years? I should probably save those for later. For my first lecture, I should start by getting them more interested in the field. All right, let's meet here again tomorrow morning. I should hurry home and create some kind of lesson plan. If I'm going to become an instructor, I should make sure I show up prepared.
Out. I'm sure more students will sign up for classes. I didn't expect you two to get here so early.
I was up last night preparing for the lecture, but I ended up getting so excited that I couldn't fall asleep. Here, I've prepared a lesson plan. Do you want to take a look?
Lesson plan? I must commend you for your dedication. But the training center has already developed its own set of teaching materials. Instead of using your own plan, you can just use what we have here. Of course, you're always welcome to work in some of your own content to add some fun and flavor. Sure, be my guest. It's almost time for the lecture to start. Feel free to head in and start the class whenever you're ready.
Huh. So you've already developed your own set of teaching materials. Seems like I won't need the stuff I've prepared after all. Anyway, shouldn't be a problem. I'll just go ahead and use your materials. There's something else I want to ask, though. This isn't going to be a large class, is it?
No need to stress. There are only 20 people in this class. There are 14 classes at my training center. Out of all of them, the first class has the best grades, so I've directed them to you. We'll see how well they take to your lectures.
20 people, huh? All right. I think I can handle that.
Oh, and one last thing. In the interest of keeping a quiet learning space, only instructors and students are allowed in the classroom when class is in session. I'm sorry to say this, but your friend will have to wait outside while you teach the class.
Sorry about that. I'll meet you at the door when the class is over then.
Hey there. Can I help you? Oh, Alkami? You mean that rich guy who's been making quite the name for himself? Yeah, he commissioned a set of furniture from me a while back. Paid a great deal of mora for it, too. I heard he earned a fortune working as a renowned architect. Now he's opened a training center so others can follow in his footsteps. If the tuition wasn't sky high, I'd enroll my child in a heartbeat. Architecture really sounds like a lucrative profession.
I see everything.
You know what they say. Knowledge is the key to changing someone's fate.
If only I had seen the business opportunity like he did. Did you hear? It really makes you jealous, eh? If you think about it, Alkami was never that talented himself as an architect. If we're just talking about professional skill, no one would pay for a class with him.
That's true, but you've got to admit, his advertisements are really effective. After all, the academia only admits those that can pass its entrance exam, so only a few people could hope to study architecture in the halls of the Gasharwar. For those who can't pass the exam, or who just want to jump straight into the industry, the training center is the best bang for the Mora.
Man, to have that kind of business acumen.
All right, everyone. There's no need to be nervous. Class is over, so we can just chat for a bit. I shouldn't have lost my temper during the lecture. Did I scare anybody?
No, you weren't scary at all, Mr. Kaveh. We were just a bit lost and didn't get what you were talking about.
Oh, don't get me started. I was trying to use Alkami's materials, so I flipped through some pages and gave them a closer look. The more I read, the more upset I became. Alkami may fool an amateur, but he can't fool anyone who's active in our profession. The materials he made are completely useless for teaching real architecture. In my opinion, the most important skill of an architect is their ability to craft a design. In other words, they must be able to conceptualize ideas. There are tens of thousands of buildings in the world, as well as a countless number of architectural styles. Some designs emphasize aesthetics, while others prioritize practicality. The architects who can critically evaluate the quality and fit of different designs are those who can come up with great designs of their own. But you won't get any of that from the teaching materials they're using here. All these students are doing in class is rote memorization of existing designs. They are learning nothing about the underlying principles. How can they expect to become real architects? When they're done with this class, all they'll become are dilettantes with a pitiful smattering of architectural knowledge.
But Mr. Kaveh, we didn't really understand anything you said after you threw away the materials either. What's the big deal anyway? It's not like we're looking to make some works of art. We just want to make some Mora.
You're studying architecture to make Mora?
Yeah. Why else would we be studying here? My biggest dream is to become someone like Mr. Alkami. Once I finally make my fortune in architecture, I'll be able to buy anything I like.
Huh. In that case, I'm afraid you'll probably be disappointed. The reality is that the work of an architect is very difficult, and the pay is not lucrative at all. Believe me, I'm a perfect example.
But how? Mr. Alkami just told us last night that you made a killing by building the Palace of Alcazarzare. He also said that as long as we graduate from his class, waves upon waves of people will reach out to us with private commissions, and we can just sit back and wait for Mora to fill up our pockets. It won't be long before I can put these miserable days behind me.
Come on. And you all believed everything he said?
But Mr. Alkami is really rich, isn't he?
You... It's pointless trying to argue this with you right now. You've already filled your heads with pipe dreams. Let's go, traveler. Let's hear about Alkami's true plans from the man himself.
What's wrong, Kaveh? You look quite flustered. Did one of my students offend you? Were the students not astute enough for your liking? I must implore you to go a bit easier on them. After all, they're nothing like the genius scholars you're used to dealing with at the academia. We don't need to strive for perfect understanding. As long as some knowledge has been passed on, that's good enough.
Yeah, I'm mad at them. But I'm even more upset that you're scamming people under the guise of teaching them about architecture. The students are all here hoping for a quick way to make money, but we both know that an architect's life is hard and exhausting. Just a little while ago, I was toiling over the 6th draft of a design for a client. If your client is unhappy, you can't break ground, and the longer a project goes, the longer it takes for you to get paid in full. What's worse, if your client disappears in the middle of a project, good luck getting anything from them ever again. You know all of this just as well as I do. Why lie to them?
Look, Kaveh, you may be the light of Ksharawar, but like I said, you still have a lot to learn about making Mora. You may deny it all you want, but it's a fact that in today's Sumeru, architecture is a terrible profession. Our clients care very little for the effort we pour into our designs. Instead of appreciating us, they spend all their time nitpicking details and demanding changes, often forcing all kinds of ridiculous ideas onto us.
I suppose that's more or less true. Go on.
Why should we cling on to a profession that's difficult and unrewarding? If the field is dying, then a person who still wants to make a good living will just have to change their strategy. If it's near impossible to make money as an architect, then why not just establish a training center and train other people to become architects in our stead?
Wait, how does that make any sense? Aren't you just leading them into the same trap?
We are already stuck, my friend. The more people we can lead into this pit and stack as padding beneath our feet, the more comfortable our lives will be. That's right. Making money as an architect is a slow and agonizing process. In comparison, earning tuition from a training center is far easier. None of the students will ever know, however. In their eyes, all of my income was earned during my years as an architect. It's easy for them to fall for my promise. After all, everyone wants to live the dream of being the person who can spend millions without batting an eye. The more students I get, the more money I earn. And the more real that dream becomes.
And then what? Once they graduate, they'll still find out the truth about architecture and struggle to stay afloat amid all the problems we already talked about. When that happens, your facade will pop like a soap bubble. No one will believe you anymore.
But that's just one way to look at the problem. No two people have the same amount of talent. Even if they fail to strike gold in the future, you can't say that it's my fault and mine alone. Oh, and also, I never actually promised that they would achieve financial freedom as long as they become architects. All I did was nudge them towards that belief. I'm not even scared if they do come back and stir up trouble. My training center has all the required permits and certifications. Even the Dendro-Archon herself couldn't find fault in any part of my business.
How can you sleep at night knowing that you're doing all this? Tell me, is your heart carved out of brick and stone? I can't believe that I once saw you as a decent human being. I am beyond disappointed in you.
And the same goes to you. How many years has it been since you graduated from the academia? If you still can't accept something like this, do you just plan on keeping that worthless naivete of yours until the end of time? Only fools will see art as revered and sacred. In the end, art is just another business. Being successful at running a business is an art form in itself. I urge you to think about what I've said. Offloading your pain onto others is the only way a person can live comfortably in this world. As the light of the Ksharawar, you've accumulated plenty of fame and respect. It's high time that you use those resources to improve the circumstances of your own life. Think it over, Kaveh. I still believe our collaboration could be very fruitful.
I'm so mad, I feel a headache coming on. There's nothing more I can say to him. I'll resign from my position as instructor. Of course. I'm sure you've realized that as long as I remained at this center, he would be able to use my name to advertise this place. Even if I just sit back and do nothing, others will be deceived and suffer because of me. He is right about one thing, though. These kinds of training centers are everywhere. And even if the academia was to find out about it, it's unlikely that they would take any real action against it. The most that they could accuse him of is false advertising. And even that would be hard to prove. Oh? Did you notice something else? Yeah, you've got a point. The rate he gave me was 300,000 mora per lecture. That probably came out of the students' tuition. And who knows just how much he's been charging the students for attending his classes. If you're gambling everything on making it rich as an architect, are you really going to have the mora to pay for that kind of tuition? Right. We should hurry. The students didn't believe a word I was telling them. They're still daydreaming about making millions. We're never going to get any information from them again if we let Alkami talk to them first. Let's move now before he's had the chance to react.
I see everything! What do I need to do to build a really cool palace? Oh, Mr. Kaveh? What are you doing back here?
Class finished a while ago, but you're still here. Why haven't you gone home?
I wanted to stay for a little longer. I'm still thinking about everything you taught during the class. Even though a lot of it went right over my head, I still thought the houses you drew were really pretty.
Of course they were. All the examples I drew were world-famous landmarks. Each one was the magnum opus of a celebrated architect. It's a good thing that you could recognize them for their beauty. The accumulation of knowledge is the first step to artistic expression. Instead of rote memorization, you should try to relate and to understand, and after that, try to resonate with the work.
Resonate?
Yes. When I first got into architecture, there were many things about it that I couldn't understand at all. I would find a building to be beautiful, but have no idea what made it so good. And for most people, just being able to admire a building is enough. To become a good architect, however, you must also learn to assess and appraise. Going from admiration to assessment will take a lot of time and specialized knowledge, and I'm afraid that some superficial speed training won't be enough to take you there.
Just as I thought. Becoming an architect won't be as easy as Mr. Alkami made it out to be, right?
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to crush your dreams. All I want to tell you is that an architect's life is not as carefree and easy as others may make it out to be.
I understand. Thank you for telling me the truth, Mr. Kaveh. I think I'll still stay here for the time being, though, since my family still hasn't paid everything off.
Paid off what?
Sorry, I can't say anything more. Mr. Alkami made it very clear that anyone who talks about it will be kicked out of the class.
Don't listen to him. I am the most famous architect in Sumeru. If he kicks you out, then I'll just take you in instead.
Really?
Why would I pull your leg? I can see you have some talent, so as long as you get your fundamentals down, you should be able to pass the entrance exam and continue your studies at the academia.
Then please keep this a secret for me, Mr. Kaveh. Truth be told, my family is not very well off, so we couldn't really afford the tuition for this class. Mr. Alkami was the one who reached out to my parents. He told them that he knew a merchant by the name of Bahar and that we could get a loan from him. He told all the students that once we graduate, people would come flocking to commission us for projects. If everything went well, we'd be able to pay off everything in just a few years, and all the more we make after that would be ours.
How much did your family borrow from this merchant?
I think it was several million mora.
And what was the interest rate?
I'm not really sure. My parents were the ones who signed the contract.
All I know is that the stack of papers was as thick as a slab of rock.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling, too. Something about the whole thing feels dastardly familiar. We need to find that merchant to confirm. But if we were to confront him right now, there's no way he'd admit to anything. Good idea. Hey, tell me, do you know where we'd be able to find this merchant?
We last saw him on the north shore of Port Ormos. Who knows if he's still in that area, though.
Well, it'd still be worth taking a look. Architecture... No. The arts shouldn't be used as bait for a scam. We need to do something before the students' lives are ruined even further.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen you guys before. Here for business?
You're Fahar, right?
Yes. May I ask who introduced you?
Alkami. My friend here wants to enroll in his architecture class, but they're a bit short on money. Alkami told us you're the man to go to in this kind of situation.
Oh, sounds like his business is booming. How much do you need?
Let me see. I'd say around 3 million mora.
Oof, you call that a bit short on money? Anyway, since you're here because of Alkami, I can work things out for you. Make sure you sign the contract, though. Lots of people are borrowing money from me nowadays. Ah, here you go. Don't worry, there's nothing particularly unusual about it. All you need to do is pay back the loan in full within 3 years.
And what if they won't be able to pay it back?
What do you mean, won't be able to pay it back? Once you graduate from Alkami's place, you'll be making millions of mora a year. Easy! At that point, paying this off will be a piece of cake. And even if you were to run into some difficulties and need to delay the installments, it's no big deal. We're all reasonable people here. If you can't pay quickly, you can just pay it back over a longer period. All that would change is your interest rates would get a little higher. It's hard work running a business. If we're taking risks to supply you with mora, it's only fair that you take on a bit of the financial risk as well. Anyway, there's no point in tying yourself in knots over the contract. With the way you're reading every single line, it's like you're worried you're about to get scammed out of your whole life savings. Why would I lie to you? Tons of students at Alkami's place have signed the contract. Aren't they all doing pretty well for themselves?
I just did some calculations in my head. When you say the interest will get a little higher, do you mean it'll get higher than 30%? Of course, the contract did a great job of trying to obfuscate that fact. It only listed the amount that you'll have to repay every day, which gives the false impression that the amount hasn't actually increased by all that much. If you actually do the math, however, it's clear that the amount you need to pay on interest alone will amount to hundreds of thousands of mora per year. Most people can't even make that much mora in a year. Your greed really knows no bounds. Even my creditor doesn't dare to raise rates that high. Once a family's signed on to a scheme like this, there's no getting out.
What are you trying to say, huh? I figured something was off when two well-dressed people came looking for a loan. Think you got the better of me? Too many people are sticking their noses where they don't belong these days. Luckily for me, though, this is a pretty secluded spot. Hey, come out and teach these guys a lesson!
Eremites, I've already fought off more than my fair share of them when I was working in the desert. There are only a few of them, so they shouldn't pose much of a threat. Marak, you're up! Following orders.
Feeling lucky today?
Incoming! Hey!
Oh, big sight clear!
Who are you and what do you want? I don't think we've done anything to hurt or offend you, so why go this far to destroy my livelihood?
Debt has the power to upend your whole life. I know very well just how miserable living in debt can be. But my debts are the culmination of many different factors, and my interest rate is still somewhat reasonable. As long as I continue to work with my situation in mind, my debts will eventually be paid off. But these students are different. They have neither the mental preparation nor the financial resources to pay back a debt like this. You sold the dreams of becoming an architect to the students as bait, urging them to take on insurmountable amounts of debt to satisfy your greed.
Ha! Everyone knows there's no such thing as a free lunch. It's their own fault for falling into the trap. And if we're going to talk about greed, aren't those students the ones who are blinded by it? They completely ignore the risk that's right there in front of them.
Ha! And here comes the silver tongue. Surely you use that to reel in the students as well. Even now, many of them are still hopelessly dreaming of striking gold after they graduate. People grow by learning from their mistakes. I hope this will be a valuable lesson to them. Let's head back to the academia and turn this guy over to the Matra. They should be able to link him with Alkami's business. Sino? Didn't think I would run into you here.
My vacation just ended not too long ago, so I'm going over some cases at the academia. Who's this? I see. Charging an interest rate over 30% indeed constitutes a crime. As it is highly likely that Alkami is also benefiting from this scheme, the Matra will open an investigation on him as well. The training center will be closed until further notice. Any funds we manage to recover from the suspects will be returned to the students. It's unclear how much we'll be able to get back, however, given their extravagant spending.
That should still be enough. Once the students realize the error of their ways, they won't fall so easily for such traps in the future. Anyway, thank you for your help. I hope this won't be too much trouble for you.
It's no trouble. Just another day at work. How did you two get tangled up in this anyway? Did you accept any mora from him?
He promised to pay me 300,000 mora per lecture, but I resigned as soon as I finished the first session. I didn't take a single coin.
Ah, that's good.
What do you mean, that's good? Would you have taken me into custody as well if I had actually accepted any mora?
I wouldn't have gone that far. But, had he insisted that you were also an active participant in his schemes, under our rules, we would have been required to open an investigation on you as well. Either way, though, I believe you are innocent in all of this. Had you actually been alright with making money through less than noble means, your life wouldn't be the mess it currently is.
Hey, what was that? What do you mean my life is a mess?
Never mind. Your life is fine.
You're just messing with me now, aren't you?
Let's get back to business. If Alkami's case can be successfully resolved, you'll be eligible for a monetary reward from the academia. Don't forget to pick it up after the fact.
Huh. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I never would have guessed. What I'm trying to say is that we didn't report Alkami because we thought we could make some more off of it.
The reward will be given regardless of your personal motivations. It was implemented with the intent of encouraging people to supply tips to the Matra.
Fine.
Is there anything else?
I want to go back to the training center one more time and talk to some of the kids.
Sure, but you should wait until tomorrow. My subordinates will shut down the center today, and summon the students to gather information on the total amount of mora they've lost in the scam.
All right, then I'll stay out of their way. I can talk to the kids tomorrow.
I have a few other things to take care of, so I'll be off for now. If you want to follow up on this case, just come find me again. Or ask one of the Matra.
That should finally be the end of that. Ugh, who would have thought it would turn out like this? All I wanted was to find a new gig and earn some mora. To think Alkami would sink this low, it still makes me really upset. Still, I think I feel a little better now than when you found me back at the tavern. It's a little ironic, but you could say it's because I've realized that there are many circumstances in the world that are even worse than my own. Now that I've seen such things firsthand, I suppose I've earned a new sense of appreciation for my life. How should I put it? I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to my profession, so I often argue with my clients. The arguments are usually extremely frustrating, and every once in a while I'd wonder if I only became an architect because fate wanted me to pay for some sins I'd committed in a previous life. Alkami's suggestion would have allowed me to quit my life as an architect and earn money solely from my reputation. But now that I've experienced that for myself, I can confidently say that I'd never want to do it again. Every scholar has their own sense of pride and a line that they don't like to cross. Of course, when faced with the vicissitudes of life, some will surrender these things to seek a more comfortable life. I can understand that. Just speaking for myself, though, I don't think that's something I'd ever be able to do. The voice in my heart would just keep repeating one thing. The moment I turn away from my dreams would be the moment my career ends. If I stopped devoting everything to my creative activities, I'd be able to lead a more comfortable life, but at the same time, my sense of intuition and understanding for the arts would also begin to degrade. At that point, any materialistic ease I may have gained in life would just become another form of torment. In comparison, my current life comes with its share of difficulties, but at least I'd never have to deal with that kind of existential reckoning. I appreciate it. You may call me conceited for this, but I would also like to think I'm talented enough to be able to lead a decent life without compromising my pride. It's certainly not easy, but I want to keep at it. My thanks again for being such a great help throughout all of this. I'm planning to pay another visit to those kids tomorrow. Want to come with me? All right, I'll see you tomorrow then. Get some good rest.
Would have guessed Mr. Alkami was a scammer.
The training center has been shut down, and the Matra have promised to return some of our tuition. But we've already spent so much time on this class. What should we do next?
Mr. Kaveh said we can keep working on our fundamentals and try to get into the academia.
Easier said than done. If it was easier to get into the academia, none of us would have signed up for the class in the first place. Only the best of the best can get into the academia studying on their own.
Mr. Kaveh might be willing to teach us.
Why? What reason does he have to stick around?
So, you're the only ones that showed up today, huh?
Huh? Kaveh's here!
Now, that's Mr. Kaveh to you. I'm here as your instructor, so let's keep things a little more proper. I'll keep instructing you for a while longer. You can pass on the message to the other students. As long as someone wants to come, they can join the class. Oh, also, I'm usually pretty busy, so I'll only be able to teach architecture fundamentals on my days off. Another disclaimer, I can't promise that you'll all be able to understand everything I'm going to teach. Architecture is not an easy profession. Aesthetics aside, even the basics of safe design can already be a handful for most people. If you want to design safe buildings, you'll have to go through a systematic study of structural engineering. And just as a heads up, all of this will be a huge step up from the superficial stuff you were learning before. It'll take both talent and perseverance to get through the course. I don't want to hear anyone say that I didn't warn you.
We'll try our best.
It seems some of you are really serious about this after all. All right, everyone, pack your stuff up. No need to prepare much for today's class. We're going to go on a quick field trip. You'll know once we get there. Come on, let's get going. We'll be off once everyone's grabbed their pencils and sketch pads.
Speed of light.
This lighthouse has been around for a long time, and I handled its renovations when I first graduated from the academia. The point of today is not so much about the lighthouse as a building, however. I just want you to take a look at it and do a bit of self-reflection. If you were tasked today with designing a building, how would you want it to look like? Don't think about how you'd actually go about building it for now. Just put your ideas to paper and draw the prettiest building that comes to your mind.
So, it can be, any kind of building?
Yep, as long as you think it'd look good. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a building. If you want, you can draw trees, the ocean, or even a garden area. Draw whatever you'd like. In my experience, it's best to approach the study of architecture from a point of personal interest, rather than for the sake of a career. Both the study and practice of architectural design are extremely difficult. A person who's forced to work on projects that they don't resonate with will only struggle and suffer. So at least for today, I hope the students will be able to create something that they enjoy. There's no need to think about it too hard. They'll have plenty of time in the future to revisit the design and make changes. What do you think? Want to try your hand at it as well? Don't forget that this is a free class from Mr. Kaveh, the Light of the Ksharawar. On a normal day, this would cost you 300,000 mora. Most materials going from Caravan Ribat to Aru Village would pass through here. There are a lot of monsters out here today. If you find it hard to keep up, just let us know.
Oh, don't worry about me. This is nothing. I'll be careful, though, and you should do the same.
Everyone hold hands!